How's it going, everybody? My name is Infamous Isaac. I'm here with a video on Berserk. I'm going to be talking about the Golden Age, and man, everybody watching this video, guys, gals, non-binary pals, bro. Shout out Anthony Fantano for that. I I don't know what to say about this arc. I haven't been like genuinely shocked at reading something in so long or watching something like a manga hasn't made me feel this way ever. Like ever. Not even One Piece or anything like that. Nothing has made me feel like this, which is crazy, right? Because I've already watched this. I watched the three movies, but I didn't realize that they cut out some stuff. Like they did cut out some stuff because shoot, some of it isn't suitable for like viewers to watch, bro. Some of it's just it it's aggressive. It's really aggressive. But before I get into anything, let me just give my non-spoiler review of it first. This arc is gonna be like probably the first series on this channel that I give a 10 out of 10. This arc, Golden Age, is peak. Like this is the best arc in manga I've ever read, ever. And again, I'm telling you, I've read it and it's still like it hit even better. Or not. I read it now, but I already watched the Golden Age movies with a friend of mine. Reading it here and seeing all of it, and then knowing what happened, but still feeling this way about it was just like, bro, you can't get better than this. This is actually amazing. This is one of the best things I've ever seen in my life. It was so dark. It was crazy. Like even though it was so dark, because this is what I feared about Berserk was it was too dark for me to read and actually enjoy. Like it wasn't like something that I could look at and just be like, oh, it's senseless. No, it's not senseless at all. It's not senseless violence or crazy things that I'm not gonna go into because they're wild. But they have a purpose. Even if it's there and it makes you uncomfortable, they do serve a purpose. It's not just senseless, like other stuff would have done, where it's just gory and violent and weird and just wrong, just to be that way because they're edgy and weird. No, like this has a message. This genuinely has a message, and it's to keep struggling, to keep fighting. Like, and that's just crazy. It's crazy to me. So this arc is just a 10. It's a masterpiece for sure, no doubt. And when I'm done with this series, if the series just like poops the bed and it doesn't get any better than this, then I don't care because this is amazing. This is genuinely amazing. So you know, if you want to keep hearing my opinion on it, I'm gonna go talk in the spoilers. But if not, then you know, hopefully you check it out. If you don't, then just remember this, because if you hear about it later, you'll know, you'll know. But let me get into it. So this arc just picks up directly after the Black Swordsman arc. Well, excuse me, that's wrong. That's a infactual statement. This arc is directly after the Black Swordsman arc, but not in terms of continuity or the timeline. This arc is actually a flashback. So we get to see everything that happened to lead up to the Black Swordsman. Because the Black Swordsman introductory arc, we see Guts in the main timeline, and then we see the Golden Age where it's him before everything, from his birth all the way until like right before he becomes the Black Swordsman and just fully immerses himself in that. So from his birth, like from like 0 to 11 years old, was just see him with a gang of thieves, basically mercenaries, who picked him up from a corpse that was hanging, and he fell, and he was born from it, like kind of as a bad omen, like oh yeah, this guy is death basically. But the the thieves leader Gambino took care of him because Shisu, which is his wife at the time, wanted him. Like they kept him and they took care of him until he was 11. Shisu died and Gambino lost his leg, so he wasn't any good for right now. And that led to problems with him and Guts, where Gambino was basically abusing him and he sold him out to one of the Donovan. There you go. That's one of the thieves in the group, and he he took advantage of him. He violated him. So Guts was scarred from that. So oh, by the way, I actually should put this in the video, but warning. By the way, after saying that, I know that won't do much now, but things get worse in terms of that. They do get worse. They get violent and they get wrong. But warning for that, like it is kind of wild. I'll put that in the title too as well. But after that, Guts goes to confront Gambino, like, yo, did you really do this? And then Gambino's like, yeah. And he was drunk, so he goes to kill Guts, and then Guts sticks out his sword to defend himself, but Gambino doesn't dodge it, and he dies. So Guts is ran out by the thieves because they're trying to kill him, thinking like, oh, he killed them on purpose, all that stuff, blah blah blah. So Guts is found on a field by Griffith because he ran away and just was dying basically. So when I he actually no, that's wrong. I think that's wrong. Yeah. So from like age 11 to 14 or 15 around there, Guts was going around all these places just fighting, doing merc work to get money basically. And he gets to one place where he fights this giant armor guy. He claps him up, and then he basically gets some renown behind him, some reputation. And after that fight, he goes to he finds Griffith. Like he actually finds them out of nowhere, and he got attacked by them. I think I don't remember what it was specifically, but basically it leads to a confrontation between him and Griffith, where Griffith beats him completely, like doesn't kill him but beats him. And now Guts is owned by Griffith. Literally his words, I own you now. You're mine. And so now Guts is a part of the Band of the Hawk. Griffith's group with Casca, Corcus, Pippin, Judo, Rickert, all these people. And for the next 3 years, from 15 to 18, Gus is just living with these people, just doing all this merc work, going to wars, doing all this 100 Year War stuff, fighting a bunch of battles, increasing his reputation, all that stuff. And along the process, you have characters like Corcus who hate Guts, no doubt. Like he just hates Guts. You have Pippin, who's a silent type. He's really cool. He's a chill little guy, Scotty Pippin type stuff. And then you have Judo and Rickert. Judo is the suave, smart guy. He knows what he's doing. He's cool. He's generally a cool guy. You have Rickert, who's the kid of the group, but he's impressionable. He's innocent. Well, not innocent because he's killed a bunch of people as well, but he's cool. Rickert is a little brother type stuff. You have Casca, who originally hates Guts just as much as Corcus does, but then she grows to love him because she is jealous of him. She is jealous of him because of what he means to Griffith, and that jealousy, that jealousy was love towards Griffith, but then it turned to hatred towards Guts. But then those two basically grew together with more battles and more life and death experiences that they experienced, like the 100 Man battle or Zod or stuff like that. So they grew a lot closer, borderline love basically. And you have Griffith himself who cares for Guts, just same way that he cares for everybody in the Band of the Hawk. Who Griffith isn't that bad of a guy, but he is scum. He definitely is scum. I know it like kind of goes against what I just said, but Griffith is a good guy to the Band of the Hawk, but he's scum in terms of other things that he does, like killing nobles, which they also have questionable morals as well. But that aside, killing a child inadvertently, what he did to Charlotte, because oh my goodness, what he did to Charlotte was terrible. Wow. But just a bunch of stuff that's morally questionable, and just overall, like Griffith isn't clean. Griffith, no doubt, is not clean, and he's gone through his own stuff for sure. But a bunch of battles happened. The Battle of Doldry being the last one that ends the war, building Griffith's reputation, his honor, all that stuff, and that basically promotes him to like one of the highest honors, making him a general in the Midland. And that night, it's been 3 years. Guts has basically gotten close to everybody in the Band of the Hawk, and he's thinking he's gonna leave. He's gonna leave to try to find his own dream because there was a speech from Griffith where it's like his equal is a man who can stand beside him, not follow him. And Guts wants to be the man who can stand beside him, so he's gonna go leave. He tells Casca this. She knows, and this is where the battle happens. The next day, Guts goes to leave. Casca calls Griffith and everybody, and they all stop him. Griffith and him have the same battle that they did 3 years ago, where it was to join. Now it's to leave. And Guts wins. Guts wins wholeheartedly in one strike, and it doesn't kill Griffith. Like, it because he didn't hit him. Like, Guts didn't hit him or hit him at all. It was technique precise. It shows improvement in how his technique has just gotten better, bro. It's fire. But then Griffith is defeated, completely defeated. And this leads him to do that thing to Charlotte. Completely irrational, just destroyed. And this leads to Griffith being imprisoned and tortured for a year. This leads to the Band of the Hawk being chased and almost killed half one third of their group being the last ones alive because they went from an army in the Midland to literally just being the Band of the Hawk again. Just small. It if anything, even in worse straits because Griffith isn't there. Casca is the leader now. So Guts left not knowing this, and then he comes back a year later because he inadvertently found them through some tournament that happened, and he sees Casca again. They they have their little moment together because Judo is like he's kind of like a fan if you're reading this where he wants Casca and Guts to just get together because he knows that Casca and Griffith can never be together because Griffith's always trying to use Charlotte to get higher renown in the castle. But even when Griffith is being tortured, he still wants Casca and Guts to be together because Casca is good for him. Guts is good for her. They're meant to be in terms of helping each other out and just being good together. But Guts comes back, Casca and everybody goes to get Griffith. Ricker and everybody else goes to do something else. I forgot what they were gonna do. I think they just stayed with the camp or whatever. But Casca, Guts, I don't think it was Corcus, it was Pippin and Judo went to what's his name to go get Griffith. Charlotte's been helping him out, giving him information, and she goes as well with her maid. They find Griffith, they get him out of there. They basically trade Charlotte because she got poisoned along the way of getting out, and they keep Griffith and they leave. But the king's like, nah, dog, he's gonna die. He violated my daughter. So they sent some people after him. Guts fights basically this version of Zod, and I haven't mentioned Zod. Zod was a guy that they fought like during his Hawk days, his Band of the Hawk days. Him or Guts and Griffith fought him. Nosferatu Zod is a monster. He's not human. He's a demon, and I want to make that clear. This is fantasy. He is a demon. He exists the same way that elves exist, and the same way that other mythical creatures exist in Berserk. So they fought Zod. They didn't win. Zod just left. So it just goes to show like Guts is strong, Griffith is strong, but Zod is on a whole nother level, bro. So the fact that they survived, crazy. But now they're fighting Wyled, I think that's his name. Wild, whatever his name is. They're fighting him. He's sent by the king. Guts barely manages to win, bro. But they keep everybody alive. Then what's his name? Zod shows up again. And he's just like, perish, and then kills that guy. And then Zod leaves again, talking about how the eclipse is coming soon. Let me talk about the eclipse because that is the next thing that happens. So after helped everybody, they're talking, and Guts is like, "I'm gonna leave again." Griffith is back. He's more like mortally just wounded. He's gonna live, but someone has to take care of him, and it's gonna be Judo. Since Judo's gonna leave the Band of the Hawk and just form his own group and all that, take care of him because somebody has to. And Judo's just like, "Yo, you should leave. You still haven't found your thing." And one thing I actually saw about this is that the Band of the Hawk was Guts's like thing that he was searching for. He was just too blind to see it, and I can see that. Guts would have been happy or happier if he stayed with the Band of the Hawk, but that's a whole discussion for another time. You can't predict the future. Who would have predicted what would have happened? So, Casca and Guts are talking, and Casca's gonna stay with Griffith because she realizes that someone needs to take care of him. Nobody can leave him alone like that. So Guts is like, all right, and shoot, you're telling me to leave, so I think I might as well just go. Or if anything, I'll stay. But Casca's like, no, you should go. You should go. I'll be here if you ever come back. And Griffith with the Bahulet on his neck, which I think I mentioned in the last video, but the Bahulet King, King's Wish or whatever, I forgot what it's called. It's a little egg. That's the thing that brings the eclipse, right? And Griffith basically goes to a field somehow with his tendons literally cut, but through will there's a way. So he goes to a field, he finds the egg there, and Guts finds him because he sees that Griffith ran off, and he puts his hand on his shoulder, and that's what starts the eclipse. So the eclipse is literally trigger warning times 100. Oh my goodness, there's so much blood, gore, death, guts everywhere. It is a massacre. The eclipse is basically Griffith summoning demons with the Bahulet, unintentionally, by the way. That wasn't intentional. The eclipse was bound to happen no matter what. It was destiny. It was causality. But what happens next is deliberately Griffith's fault. So Griffith summons all those demons, and he's basically revered as the fifth god hand, or not the god hand, but the son of darkness, the prince of darkness type stuff, and he becomes I don't even know what Femto, whatever he's called. He becomes reborn basically. He leaves his Griffith body behind. It becomes Batman basically. So he basically has everybody killed in the Band of the Hawk except for Guts and Casca. Everybody is dead. Demons are just seizing the world. They're all coming out from the eclipse. And it's like, I can't explain. I'm not doing it justice whatsoever. But literally, the eclipse is horror. It's hell unleashed onto Earth. It is terrifying. Demons, creatures, monstrosities, nightmares unleashed onto the world. And all you can do is just stare if you're not eaten already. Like, it's terrifying. Genuinely terrifying. So Casca and Guts, the last ones left alive. Judo died protecting Casca. Pippin died protecting everybody. Corcus died to a nymph. I forgot what they're called. The whatever. But Gaston died in Guts's arms. Like everybody's dead. And Griffin takes Casca and she violates him, or he violates her right in front of Guts, and it's it's one of the darkest moments in this manga, no doubt. Like for sure, one of the darkest because, man, Miura was sick, bro. Drawing those two chapters was horrible. That man was wild. God rest his soul, but that man was wild. I can't believe he drew that for two chapters, bro. It was crazy. It was just rough. Barely any words, just that. And it's just like Guts was over there tearing apart his arm, literally cutting it in half to get to Griffith because a monster had his arm in its jaws, and so he cut it off. He went towards Griffith, and they still held him down. So lo and behold, the goat of the series, Skull Knight, shows up, bro, and saves Guts and Casca. Skull Knight, the king of kings, bro, the cow of cows, bro, shows up. And he has Ricker as well because Skull Knight was actually fighting Zod outside of what was going on in the eclipse. And Rickert was there as well because he left where he was at because everybody with him died except for him. And we actually see Puck with Griffith, or not Griffith, though, Rickert for a little bit, but then he stayed, continuity reasons. But Rickert is with Skull Knight. He's taking care of, or well, Rickert is taking care of Guts and Casca, so they all leave and they go back to where Guts was, where he left. When he left the Band of the Hawk, it was a year after, or a year before he came back, so that's why it's like a little space between. But he went to a little mountain area with a swordsman, and he was training over there. It turns out that Ricker actually knew those people, so he went over there, and it was by chance that they met. So Ricker was taking care of both of them. Casca lost her memories, basically in a traumatic state, like a fugue state, where she doesn't know anything. She can't even talk. Like she's literally traumatized. Guts is traumatized, but not in like the way that Casca is. He lost his arm, lost his eyeball, lost his sword, lost his friends, basically everything. So he wakes back up. He's getting everything ready, and he goes to find Skull Knight. He finds him in the field, and Skull Knight's just basically like, dog, there's demons in this world. Literally, you're gonna have to stay strapped because you have a brand on you, the brand of the demons or whatever, where you will always be chased because you are literally meant to be a sacrifice for Griffith. So if you're gonna keep fighting, then keep fighting. Just know that you're in for a lot of pain. So Guts is like, all right, then I'll make a declaration of war towards the demons, bro. I'm gonna hunt every single one and kill them. And Guts now is becoming the Black Swordsman. He literally got ready. He went to Rickard, said goodbye to everybody. He's not gonna stay with Casca because she's literally afraid of him. Casca had a baby as well, and it was Guts' child, but it got turned into a demon because of Griffith. So that's wild. But literally, Guts leaves, and now he's the Black Swordsman with the Dragon Slayer on his back, the the arm, the mechanical arm on his right arm, or right arm, and a cloak. He is the Black Swordsman completely, and that's where it ends. And let me just tell you, I got so emotional. I got so emotional, not with the eclipse, but what was Skull Knight and Guts, and just how he was just telling him to keep struggling, and you think that's bad, but it's not. It's literally keep fighting for what you believe in, type stuff, bro. And it's just beautiful. Like it's generally beautiful. This manga had me in tears at the end of it, it was beautiful. Or not manga, but this arc had me in tears. It was so beautiful, bro. Oh my goodness, like I loved it. And the beginning was great. It was a little slow, but it was building up to this greatness. Literally 90 chapters. 90 chapters of this manga are the Golden Age, which is crazy. Actually crazy. Like, one third of this manga is that. And it's so fire. Because it's so good because of that. Like, I love it so much. The Golden Age is peak. It's 10. The characters are amazing. They're evil. They're good. They're terrible. They're awesome. They're well made. That's the thing. They're so well made. It's awesome. The world is well made. The fights are brutal. They're great. The art style is amazing. The best I've ever seen in a manga. The story is beautiful, awesome, genuinely beautiful. Just makes you think. Like, I literally had to sit there and just think for a couple minutes. Like, what did I just read? It's so good. Genuinely amazing piece of fiction. Masterpiece. I love the Golden Age. It's so good. That's all I have to say about it though. If I'm gonna talk more about it, I'll make another video for it because I'm running out of time. But thank you all for watching. Hope y'all enjoy. I'll see you all in the next video. This has been Infamous Eyes again. I think the next arc is the Empire of the Millennium Falcon. I think that's what it's called. Falcon with the Millennium Empire, something like that. I don't know. But see you all later. Hope y'all have a great rest of your day. I'll check y'all out. Peace.